Hello to the welcome to the Week 13 IDP Guys Start Sit Show. I am joined here with three IDP Guys experts in fantasy football. Brandon, do you want to go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I am Brandon Hay. Find me on Twitter at HeyB3. I do mostly the offensive side on IDP Guys, so I'm glad to be able to join this morning and give some start sits.
Santa, your holiday's about to come up here in a little bit, so
I
tell us
know.
a little bit about yourself.
I feel underrepresented. I think I lost my hat, so I had to pivot to the Eagles hat. So hopefully next time I'll be able to dig the hat out. I'm just Dynasty Santa on Twitter. All my content's here on IDP Guys. I do some editing. Been writing some waiver wire and start sit articles recently this year. So just looking forward to Week 13. Lucky Week 13.
And then we got a rankings master, Logan, over here in the bottom right corner. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, hey guys, I'm Logan. Sports Talk Smart on Twitter. I do, like Grant said, the rankings during the season. I focus mostly on the weekly rankings, week by week, and then throughout the year and in the off season, I do a lot of dynasty and redraft rankings for all formats: superflex, tight end premiums, IDPs, everything. So.
Awesome. Hey, if you guys are watching, you have any questions about your start sits for today, put those in the comments below and we'll get those answered for you. And we actually have our first one from a Facebook user. He's wanting to know Bourne or Higbee in the flex.
Oh, boy. I mean, Bourne's been hot, right? So you might want to ride the hot hand there. I'm not the biggest Higbee guy. I loved his run a couple years ago, but hasn't really done hardly anything since then. A few decent games here or there. So if I'm forced to pick between those two, I think I'm going to lean Bourne there just on his hot streak.
Yeah, I'm going to say the same, even though he's got kind of a tough matchup. I'm not big on Higbee either. I was coming into the season, but he's just not it. So I'm going to go Bourne still there. Ride the hot hand.
Yeah, I'll go with Bourne, the hot hand, and the Rams play the Jads, my Jads today, and the Jads are horrible. So I think that's going to get out of hand early, and I don't necessarily know how much they'll be passing the whole game. So I would go with Bourne.
Yeah, I mean, what Higbee? You're basically looking at touchdown or bust there, right? I mean, if he doesn't score, if he doesn't, if they don't draw up some random like 1 or 2 yard touchdown play for him, he's going to give you like 3 for 41. Where at least we know Bourne is like when he gets snaps, he's involved and targeted on the offense. So they actually make it a point to get the ball in his hands when he's on the field. So you've got a better chance with Bourne there, I think.
So one of the games I'm very interested in watching today is Bengals Chargers, and if Joe Burrow is going to have a big day against the Chargers defense, what are you guys thinking about that matchup? And is Jamar going to have a bounce back?
I mean, I don't know because they've been riding Joe Mixon the last couple of games, giving him a lot of carries. So I think they might go that way. I really need Jamar to have a really good game. But, I mean, we saw T. Higgins had that big game. So I'm wondering if he's just not going to get the volume, the rest of the season. So, it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I've got T and Jamar both as 12 and 13 this week. And nice. I would play them both as, high wide receiver twos with wide receiver one upside. And like Brandon said, they've got the league worst defense. They're playing the league worst rush defense in the Chargers. And I think as well, they're going to probably ride Mixon. And I've got Mixon at my running back 3 this week. So I've got him as a top 3 option.
Nice. Well, so we got the line on that game is Bengals -3 with a 50-point over-under, which, makes it seem like it's going to be close with, that's a higher over-under, at least on the week. So, I mean, of course we want that whole offense to eat, right? I mean, Mixon, Chase, Higgins, even Boyd would be nice there. People still rolling out Uzoma a little bit. So, like, a shootout would be the ideal state of that game, I think. Just whether it's going to happen. That Chargers pasty is pretty good. They still have, Joey Bosa with the pass rush. So are the Bengals going to, play it slow with Burrow still and try to keep him upright and protected? That we'll have to see about that. I think you have to play all of your Bengals, basically, at least the ones that are, have been reliable starters, at least earlier in the year, like your Chases. We saw Higgins finally have his breakout game. Took a little longer than expected. And then, of course, your Mixons of the world. I think you have to start them along with Burrow and just ride your guys.
Here's the crazy thing is the Chargers have such an explosive offense that the Bengals might find themselves in a passing situation very early in the game if their defense isn't showing up.
Yeah, let's hope so.
So, Facebook user, Leonard Williams versus Miami, Trey Hendrickson versus the Chargers, or Jalen Phillips at defensive line?
Oh, boy. Those are pretty good options. Philip, if I'm ranking them, I'd probably go Williams, Hendrickson, Phillips, the order they're listed there. Obviously Phillips had that monster breakout game last week, but it was against who did Miami play? Houston last week? No. It was somebody not great, right? No, the Jets played Houston, and I can't find the Dolphins.
Miami played the Carolina, sorry.
Carolina, that's right. Okay. So he had a monster breakout game against a terrible Cam in Carolina. So I don't know that you can rely on him that much. He's been incredibly inconsistent. So the Giants play the Dolphins. They play each other. Williams, I think, just gives you the safest floor with tackles plus the sack opportunity. And then Hendrickson, he's been pretty consistently getting sacks. It's just tough with that Chargers O-line. Which has been keeping Herbert upright. So yeah, that's a tough call. But I think I'd rank them in the order you have them listed there.
The only positive for Phillips, I would think, is Glennon starting, so he's not as mobile, so he might be able to get more sacks this week.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's a possibility because Mike Glennon's not very good. So
yeah, like Santa said,
that's very true.
I've got him Leonard, Hendrickson, Phillips, like you have there, but I do have Leonard a little bit higher than the other two, and then Phillips right behind Hendrickson with some pretty good upside, even though he's been inconsistent.
Right. I mean, they're all pretty close, and they're all pretty good options. I mean, I wouldn't be upset about rolling. Honestly, Phillips probably has the highest ceiling out of all of them with the game we just saw from him. So if you are like looking for that ceiling play and you need a win, and you might want to roll the dice on Phillips with the highest ceiling there. But Williams and Hendrickson probably give you the more consistent play.
From our returning viewer, Marco. Good morning, guys. Start 2 DBs. Woods, Ryan, Diggs, or Willis?
Oh, he's from Germany. Nice. Willis is back this week, huh? I guess off IR. I might be a little hesitant to roll with him coming off the injury. Diggs, I wrote about Diggs in my sleeper article. He's been just so consistent, like it's ridiculous, and nobody's talking about him because he plays, next to Adams, who's got all the name value. So I kind of like Diggs there as one of the two, like for sure. And then it's kind of interchangeable there. I mean, man, Woods has been playing really well too with a decent tackle floor. So if it's me, I'm probably gonna go Diggs and Woods. But this is definitely a tough call.
Yeah, I'm going to stray away from Willis coming off of the injury just because you have better options. And I think Logan Ryan's a must start when he's active. And then I have the other two both ranked in my top 12 to 15 right there. So, Quandre Diggs actually has like 7, 8, 9 tackles in his last few games, something like that. Like he's
ridiculously consistent.
consistent. Yeah, I'd go Logan Ryan for sure personally, and then probably lean Diggs over Woods. But those three are almost interchangeable. But I would stray away from Willis this week off the injury. You got great other options.
Yeah, I would probably go Woods and Ryan. So
Joey Perps is asking Fant or Freiermuth, or do I drop one of those guys for Knox?
Oh, man, tight ends.
Man, I'm liking Freiermuth right now just because of
how can you not?
He's becoming Ben's go-to guy in the red zone. I have Fant, and I'm slowly backing off on him because he was pretty good in the first half of the year, but it just seems like he's not getting those points right now.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I'm on team Patty F there too. I don't know how you can get away from that production and consistency. He's been surprisingly consistent. Yeah, it's kind of been reliant on touchdowns, but if they're happening and he's a consistent target in the red zone for Big Ben, then there's nothing wrong with that, you know.
And I believe Baltimore's like 29th or 28th against the tight end.
Right.
So
against tight ends, yep. Yeah, I've got Freiermuth as my number 5 option this week, and then as much as I'd hate to say it, you could probably drop Fant for Knox because if Fant's been kind of touchdown dependent, and Knox has been thriving on touchdowns, but he's got the upside of we've seen 2 of them in two separate games, and he's been getting some big plays. I would consider dropping Fant for Knox, but I'd play Freiermuth this week.
Yeah, I agree too, because with Fant, I think Fant might be the most talented, just talented player, but the offense with how they run the ball and Teddy Bridgewater doesn't throw it that much. And with Knox, Josh Allen throws it a ton and they always look for him in the red zone. So yeah, I would say I would go with Freiermuth, but I would definitely drop Fant if you could pick up Knox.
And then we got I don't even want to try to pronounce this name. I don't want to butcher it. I'm sorry. Is Daryl going to play? Him, Burkhead, Beasley, Breida, Hawkinson, Coleman. He needs 2, and it's a PPR.
Yikes.
Double check on Henderson. It doesn't sound like he's going to play, though. I think he's trending in the wrong direction.
Right. I think so, too.
Uphill battle. So I would assume he's not going to play, and I'd be ready to play the 2 others. I think I'd go ahead and go Hawkinson in a PPR just because I don't love Burkhead. Breida and the Bills running backs, if you're willing to take the shot on hoping which one you're right on. Tevin Coleman probably gives you a safe floor, though. So Tevin Coleman and Hawkinson would be my picks.
I'm going to go just Breida and Hawkinson only because I have Breida going in a couple leagues. So if you're going to ride with my misery, then go for it.
Yeah, I would probably go Hawk and Beasley because I feel like the Patriots will probably try to shut down Diggs, and Beasley's usually pretty good out of the slot. So
that's a good call.
I think you could I think he has probably a pretty solid floor. So,
nice.
But I'm having to play in one league. I'm having to play Singletary and Breida, at my running back spots because I don't have any other running backs. So, so I'm hoping both of them get a touchdown, maybe.
Yeah.
It's not great.
I'm fighting for playoffs still, and I have to start Breida because I just lost Swift last week. So my heart is just going to be pounding that whole game.
Last week I lost CMC and Swift.
Oh,
yeah,
brutal.
They didn't even get me 10 points, and I ended up losing the game. But if I would have started Patterson, I win the game. And but I just couldn't start Patterson just because
over those 2 guys.
Yeah, well, that and he was injured.
Yeah,
and he was limited in practice all week. So it's like there's no way he's going to get all the touches he's been getting.
Yeah,
and
then of course monster game.
And then Godwin, of course.
Oh
Shit the bed.
gosh.
It's like Brady totally forgot about him.
Unreal.
Shauna said, "Good morning. Need to choose 4: T.J. Edwards, Singleton, Quincy Williams, Perriman, Vigil," and she also adds down below, "Sorry, I added 2 Perrimans and meant to add Simmons. Thanks."
Oh boy.
Okay, so I've got Perriman at 7. I think he's a must start. He's been incredibly consistent and
Agree.
not just consistently very good. So he's going to be up there for me. TJ Edwards has actually been pretty lights out too. So I think I'm going him as well.
Simmons. She says Simmons instead of the second Perryman.
Okay.
Oh, geez. Sorry, guys.
And then probably I play Isaiah Simmons for the upside and Quincy Williams.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Quincy Williams has been playing really, really well lately. He's been getting me a lot of points.
Yeah, I'd set Vigil and Singleton there.
Vigil? I thought as a starter. See, I was working backwards. I was going to say cancel Vigil out because I think Barr might play. And it used to be if Barr didn't play, you want Vigil in, but like I feel like he's cooled off even lately with any games that Barr has missed. So I'm kind of working backwards, eliminating him. Edwards is back. I think he's questionable, so that's my only concern with Edwards because, like, especially if he's out, Singleton definitely vaults into the starting lineup there. So I think, okay, maybe it looks like he is playing. He was questionable like a day or two ago. Yeah, okay, no injury designation. Great. So yeah, you got to go Edwards and Perryman for sure. They've just been too hot, and Perryman's been so consistent. I guess I would go Simmons and Quincy too there for the 3 and 4 for me. I think Singleton's capped a little bit with Edwards healthily playing.
Yeah, and Vigil's been not still not great with Barr even out. Yeah, he's only getting a handful of tackles.
Yeah, he started off real hot, but not anymore.
All right, Joey's asking, Wentz or Cousins? He had Hurts.
Oh boy. It's so tough to trust Wentz. Oh, God.
Cousins is playing Detroit.
Yeah. That's always sounds like a juicy matchup, but then, like, if they get their running game hot going, then, like, Cousins is just not going to need to throw the ball, which is scary about that matchup. Or they just drop 40 on him and he goes, 303.
And they're also playing their backup running back, too. Minnesota.
Yeah. I still don't think that's going to stop him from wanting to continue to run the ball because Zimmer is just a hardhead when it comes to that. And, man, Colts Texans. I mean, I threw in Wentz last week because I thought it could be a shootout with Brady, but, like, against the Texans, like, they're probably just going to run it down their throat with – I think this could be a Jonathan Taylor and Nyheim Hines game against the Texans. So, like, I'm going to go with Kirk on that one. But it's close because you just don't know how the script of the Colts-Texans game is going to go. But I would assume it's going to be run-heavy for the Colts.
Oh, yeah. I think Jonathan Taylor's going to have a huge day against Houston.
Well, he should, but that means, he'll go for, like, 50 yards and they will throw. Like, it's just – the NFL just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I've got Cousins at 10 and Wentz at 12. They're both got good matchups and everything, but you got the chance that they're both running a lot, so that caps their upside a little bit. But I think Cousins a little bit safer floor.
Yeah, I would go with Cousins. I know Wentz has been pretty good, but I just can never trust him because he always has those like crazy interception throws where I'm just like, I can't trust this guy if he just like closes his eyes and throws it up. So I'll go with Cousins.
It's so tough with him.
Sean has already asked that question. Joey Perps, top 3 on the wire. Wentz, Heineke, Tyrod Taylor. I currently picked up Cousins. So that was his follow-up from his question.
Yeah, that's the smart pickup. It's a non-primetime game for Cousins. He's the most consistent out of any of those games or any of those guys. So, yeah, I like the move, sticking with Cousins.
See, I kind of like Heineke too. He's been
That could be a shootout. He's just been pretty inconsistent as well. Like, I don't know. He's hard to trust too.
I'll tell you what, the dude's a gamer though. Like
big game, Taylor.
All right. Drew's Ducks is saying he has Garrett and Burns, starting Hendrickson and trying to choose between Pay and Wormley, Wilkins and Barnett. Any possible wild card?
Sheesh. Pay, God, has Pay done anything lately? Yikes.
Hasn't he been hurt?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Pay was hurt. I think he came back, and I think he's had a couple good games. He's had a couple decent games.
Okay.
Sacks. He's coming off 2 sacks or 3 sacks in a row.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, and hardly 8. No, obviously no tackle for. So like, yeah, it's sack or bust there, and it is Houston, so maybe that's not the worst play, I guess. Yeah.
I just always worry again with like mobile quarterbacks like Tyrod. You know, it might be harder to get the sacks because he's probably going to, run from the pocket. When he gets any pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I don't. Oof.
Pay's got that athleticism though to keep up with him.
Yeah,
I mean, oh God, obviously none of those options. I mean, as far as a wild card, if you could maybe tell us your top available on the waiver wire, but of those 4, I guess I would lean Pay. Maybe Wilkins. Wilkins could come out of nowhere. He tends to do that. Just show up every 4 or 5 weeks with like a monster game. So he'd probably be my number 2. As a Philly fan, I hate Barnett. He's so damn inconsistent. So he'd probably be 4th on the list for me. And then Wormley, I'll throw in at the 3 spot there.
Yeah, Wilkins has usually been having a pretty consistent tackle floor this year. So he's your safe play. But I think I'm going Pay right in the 3-game sack streak, even though he's got to chase Tyrod, but he's pretty athletic. So
yeah,
I think he rides out a 4-game sack streak and gets you another one. So yeah, if you have some waiver options though for a wild card, like Santa said, you might have someone out there that might be better than some of those.
Yeah, so Drews, if you wanted to tell us who your waiver wires are or who's available, let us know. We can finish answering this question for you. Marco's back and he's asking Cooper or Chris Jones for DL.
Is that the Denver Cooper, I assume?
Jay Cooper.
Yeah, Jonathan Cooper, right?
Okay. And wait, who was the first one? Oh, Chris Jones. I mean, he gets the snaps. That Denver D-line is always rotating because I think they've had like a ton of injuries lately. Cooper, I think, is a decent sack play, but I think Jones has the safer floor for you there. So I'm gonna lean with Jones just because he's always on the field for them for the most part. Yeah, Cooper. Oh my God, he's had 1 game of 2 sacks. So yeah, Chris Jones for me by a lot.
Yeah, the Chiefs moved Chris Jones back to defensive tackle, and
Yeah, he's been eating, right?
Sorry.
Oh, he's been eating there, right? Lately?
Yeah, he had 3.5 sacks before the bye week against Dak. So,
Awesome.
yeah, he's kind of looking back to the Chris Jones of old, being back in defensive tackle, which I thought he was going to be great at defensive end because he's just so big and athletic and stuff. I just thought he would do fine, give him some room. But I guess, if you're an all-pro already at your position, you probably shouldn't move. So I think, but being back at D tackle, he looks good, and I think Denver will run a lot of, with Javonte, so he's going to have some handful of stops up the middle, and Bridgewater is very sackable. So I got Chris Jones there pretty solidly.
Nice.
So Drew's Ducks just got back to me, and he said his top options are Addison, JPP, and Armstead.
JPP's interesting.
Yeah, hasn't he been doing pretty well this season?
I thought so. I think he missed a couple games, but when he's playing, I thought he's still playing pretty well. Let me see. Oh God!
3 games in a row, 1 tackle.
Oh my God! Wow, really? Well,
oh, man, yeah. Never mind.
Ready for that is playing the Atlanta Falcons. So I guess I'd still probably roll with Pay there, but yikes, that's crazy. I wonder what's going on with him.
All right, Joey Perps is asking. He needs a flex spot now. Do I start Sutton or drop for another receiver? Galladay, Slayton, Gage, or Crowder? Top receivers on the top wide receivers on his waiver wire, or do I drop Fant and start 2 tight ends?
Oh boy, you want to trust Sutton so much. He's so good, but
they just don't throw like last week. I think
crazy.
All the receivers only had like 2 receptions.
Yeah, like what is going on?
Just can't trust Teddy Two Gloves.
I don't love any of the other options at all, though.
Exactly.
Crowder's got a little bit of a floor if it's PPR. But you know what? I think with Melvin Gordon most likely being out, they may not give Javonte 30-plus touches or something like that. He might stay at like 20-ish, and they may have to throw against the Chiefs. So Sutton, the Chiefs are also missing Rashad Fenton, who's been like lights out in that corner. So I'd take the flyer on Sutton there. I don't like any of those other options really.
That's an awesome nugget there. I didn't know that. So yeah, for sure. And yeah, you expect Denver to maybe not get trounced, but Chiefs to put up points. Hopefully they fix whatever was wrong with their offense for the past few months, it seems like. So yeah, I would roll with hopefully the game script there and take the shot on Sutton. He's too talented to not be putting up points for this long.
Oh, let's see here. Hex is giving us a warning. He is saying Deshaun Jackson is feasting today.
A revenge.
Do you guys agree or disagree with this warning that Hex is throwing out to us?
He's going to end up like Ryan Fitzpatrick and have like a revenge game every week with the way the end of his career is going here. I mean, sure, you can see that, but it's going to come on one play. So either they hit that bomb or they don't. If you're willing to risk that, then go for it. I can't do it unless I'm totally desperate. So you can come back to us next week and gloat if it happens. But if I'm betting on it, I'm not betting on it.
I think he's been pretty good in his revenge games, though. I think I saw something that he's been good in his revenge games. So.
That's my favorite narrative is the revenge game. I fall for it all the time. I will always stop. I'm like, revenge game. Like, it's so hard to pass that up for me because I'm just an idiot. But if I'm trying to give solid advice to other people, I'm going to go against my broken brain and say no. But I love it. I love the narrative.
Joey Perps is asking a follow-up question. So don't drop Fant for Knox and start Knox and flex, or should I just start Sutton? Man, I have a hard time starting 2 tight ends in flex.
Yeah, that's rough.
It's been honestly not a bad move, and I've had to do it in a handful of leagues this year. And I have in a couple leagues I have like Hawkinson, Freiermuth, and Knox. And then I drafted guys like LaVisca and Allen Robinson. So I've had to throw in those tight ends, and it's been working a little bit. If you got stuck with guys that like A-Rob and LaVisca, like I said, but I'd probably drop Knox. Yeah,
like you want Knox on your team, on your bench there. It's at over Fant. But this week starting, God, if it was my team, I think I'm sticking with Sutton in the flex. I would make that move and get Knox on my team, but I don't know that I'm starting him this week.
Well, he also has Freiermuth in the starting tight end position.
Yeah. I mean, Knox as the flex.
Yeah.
I would.
Just reminding you guys here.
Yeah, I think I might do that because I'm just looking at Sutton's stats the past few games. He has 7 catches in the last 4 games. Total. He has not. I mean, and he's playing a ton of snaps, and that just. I mean, I know we're talking about the narrative, and the game flow, but still, he's just not getting those, getting those catches, and that just worries me. So I'd probably go with Knox in that flex because, I mean, he has a very good chance of scoring a touchdown, as we've seen, all season when they get in the red zone.
Yeah, you got at least one for you.
Yeah, and then he's also asking, my bench is banged up. He's got Debo, Gordon, Ridley, Kamara, and Hurts.
Yikes.
Man, you're in a rough position this week.
That's probably you're probably starting 2 tight ends.
So knowing this, would you start 2 tight ends knowing that his bench is pretty much banged up?
Yeah, like Brandon said, Sutton has been. If you got the Knox over Sutton, I might do that. But if the other options were those receivers, I would go Sutton over those receivers you listed. But you got a lot better ceiling with. He's only got freaking 8 targets too.
Oh God!
3 games. He's got 12 targets, 7 catches, 12 targets in 4 games. So yeah, I think I'm going Knox for now. He's been pretty lights out too.
Put Bridgewater and that offensive coordinator in jail. It's ridiculous.
How does a starting receiver have this type of numbers in 4 games? On any offense, it doesn't make any sense.
And they're paying him now too. And they just are giving him and Patrick contracts, and they say they want to keep Judy. It's like, well, what if you're not throwing to him? What's the point? Like, I just don't get it. Like, these teams drive me insane. I'm gonna stick to my guns and just go with Sutton, but I wouldn't blame you to put Knox in there. He's probably got the safer. Well, he absolutely has the safer floor. I think Sutton, if they can get him going, has the higher ceiling. But I know it doesn't look good. But that's what we do in fantasy football, right? Like, a guy stinks for 4 weeks in a row, who's good, and then he's got to break out at some point.
He's got to. And it's kind of like baseball where you're in a hitting slump, but you got to keep hitting to get out. So he's got to keep playing to end up getting out of this. But Mike Smith's asking, got to start 1 running back, 1 flex. Saquon, Hopkins, Gibson, T. Higgins is his options.
So pick 2 out of those basically, yep. And one's got to be a running back.
Gibson's my RB for sure. And they said Hopkins is probably on a pitch count, so I would play Higgins over him if you went that route. So it's between Higgins and Saquon for me at flex. Who the Giants got again this week?
Is it Miami, right?
Yeah, I think Miami.
Yeah, Miami. His defense is playing well.
Decent, yeah. They are not bad.
And Saquon just still doesn't feel like he's quite there yet, I feel like. And
I think they still got Saquon with the big playability. They're both. He still got a pretty safe floor because he has been racking up a lot of catches, even when. And I think Glenn might check down a lot more than Daniel Jones would. So I think I'm going to go Saquon there just for the big playability and the chance that the Bengals may go back to a chase game and they may run a lot in a good matchup.
See, I was going to go Cincinnati with T. Higgins because of the possible shootout they're going to be in with the Chargers here.
Right. It's a tough one for flex.
Because I think it's going to be much higher than 50-point over-under.
We thought that with Kansas City, Dallas, and it was like 28 total points scored. See, we need a shootout though. We need a big shootout. We've had one or two, but
just because the Chargers have been giving up more than 20 points. The only team that they have held under 20 points was the Raiders. They gave up 37 to the bad Steelers.
Yeah.
So I just think Joey Burrow is going to have a big day in the air, even though you can run on the Chargers.
They're both good plays. That's a tough one.
Definitely, I think Gibson for sure in the running back spot. That's a lock without McKissick available. Goodbye to that goddamn touchdown vulture. Gibson finally gets 1 billion carries and 1 billion targets, and McKissick gets 2 freaking touchdowns. Like, I'm so sick of that guy. Good riddance. I don't root for injury, but goodbye. Gibson smash play. Yes, I'm a disgruntled Gibson owner all year. And then give me T in the flex spot, but those are some really tough options. You got your vets that have been banged up all year and not really producing for you, but we know what they can do. So God, if they go off and you don't pick the right one, it's gonna hurt. I understand what you're looking for here, but you got to try to stick to the trends, and I'm gonna go with Higgins.
So Joey Perps lets us know again. Ingram, he has Ingram too, but he's already played. So the only person I can drop for Knox is Fant.
I can tell you really like Fant, as do I, but I think I would still drop Knox for Fant.
Yeah, I agree here.
Not if you've got like a lot of keepers though, or something, or like a long-term type of dynasty league. Obviously, I wouldn't drop Fant for Knox, but yeah, this year I'd rather have Knox for the rest of the season.
This is redraft. That's a smash. I mean,
yes.
The Broncos offense, we can't trust. Like, it's so hard to trust them. I know with Gordon out, maybe. Well, let's hope that they're throwing it a little bit more. But in your situation, yeah, I would have no qualms about dropping Fant for Knox. Go for it.
Marco is asking Hawkinson or Freiermuth for tight end, and then Hawkinson, Freiermuth, or Reynolds at flex, half PPR.
Does it say Freiermuth for you? It says Pitts here.
Oh, Pitts. I'm sorry. I was thinking
Okay.
Pittsburgh's tight end. But yes, Pitts.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I see what you're doing. All right.
I had Freiermuth on my mind today, I guess.
Oh, that's a tough one, too. I mean, Reynolds is the odd man out pretty easily there.
I think I'm going 2 tight ends.
Yeah. If you're choosing just one, Hawkinson or Pitts, I think I'm gonna lean Hawkinson, but it's tough just because Pitts isn't getting into the end zone, unfortunately. But of those 3, if we got to pick 2 out of 3 for a flex, definitely Hawkinson or Pitts over Reynolds for sure.
Yeah, I'm sitting Reynolds.
Yeah, I agree, but I do like Hawkinson, but it's weird because, I mean, we've seen Jared Goff is so inconsistent and so bad sometimes that sometimes he just doesn't throw it to him, which doesn't make any sense to me. But I'm thinking with Swift out that, Hawkinson might get more targets today.
Yeah, right. No Swift too, right?
So we got a question from Keith. Would you play TJ Watt today?
If he's active, you have to. Is he?
I
we gotta.
haven't heard.
Yeah, he's active from COVID list. If he's active, yeah, I'm playing him. Unless you got like
100%.
three other top 12 options. But
I
think
mean,
he's still up there.
And I think I was researching the other day for like sleepers, and I think I saw Baltimore is like the second most given up sacks. So yeah, if TJ's playing, especially in this matchup, yeah, 100%.
And then he's also asking, Landon Collins is out today. Quick waiver pickup at cornerback safety.
You could theoretically plug good old Bobby McCain in there. He's probably got a very limited upside. It's not very exciting, but he should be slotting into that role. And we've even seen him be relevant earlier in the year with all three of them healthy in the defensive backfield. So you could do that.
Just someone off the top of my head that's like I've seen kind of low in rankings and he does well is Jalen Thompson, maybe out on your waivers. The Cardinals safety. If you got some waiver options though, throw them out there.
Yeah. Hey Keith, show us your waiver options so that way we have a little bit better choice for you. And then Joey Perps is back. He's asking Ravens, Chiefs, or Eagles defense.
Real quick on Chidobe Awuzie. He's coming back off of, or not. He's been good coming back, so he's just someone I think you could throw out there. I have him down in my rankings a little bit, but if
he's
you need
Curl.
Oh, I'd grab Curl if he's out there.
Oh God, yeah.
I'd play him too. I'd play him.
It's available. Hell yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, back to Joey Perps.
Yep.
Ravens, Chiefs, or Eagles defense?
Oh God. Team defense. I stink at picking team defenses correctly, so probably go with the opposite of what I say. The Eagles look like the juiciest matchup against the Jets, but that we know how that means that'll probably turn out. So if I'm ranking them, I'm probably going to go Eagles. Wait, who do you have? Baltimore and Chiefs? Yeah, I'd probably go Eagles, Ravens, Chiefs. For me, that's how I'd probably rank them.
Yeah, I think the Eagles should end up with a handful of turnovers against Zach Wilson. He throws a lot of picks. I think I got to put the Eagles on top there, but then the Chiefs are a pretty good play. I think it could. I don't think it will be too high scoring, to be honest, but the Chiefs have been playing well, so they should keep you up at a good floor with not allowing a ton of points. I could see the Ravens and Steelers can be turning kind of high scoring with being a divisional game. Obviously, Chiefs Broncos is too, but Chiefs coming off a bye and have been playing so well. I think they're in a really good spot. I think the Eagles are your juicy matchup, but if we say that Wilson's going to throw 5 touchdowns today or something. So.
Yeah, that's how it'll go down.
He currently has the Eagles right now, and I think he's got the right choice.
Yeah,
out of the 3.
Nice.
When you're choosing defense, they're not going to kill you in the long run, honestly.
Negatives hurt though on a Sunday night or a Monday night. So
yeah.
That'd be your worry with the Chiefs getting into a shootout and having like -1. But I think they give you an okay floor though, the Chiefs. But I'd go Eagles. Keep the Eagles in there.
Drew's Ducks. Also, just like Vigil, and with Kendricks out and Bart have Jack, but he's the poster child for mediocrity.
I think Vigil's a bigger poster child for mediocrity than Miles Jack. Jackson played pretty good this year. So wait, also still dislike Vigil with Kendricks out.
Kendricks is out.
Yeah, it's Detroit though. I don't know.
Goff could throw a ton of incompletions, and Vigil may only get like 5 chances to tackle.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like the opportunities for tackles, I don't know, are going to be there. Yeah, the opportunities for those impact plays will be there against the Lions, but oh man, the Jaguars are playing the Rams. Yeah, I mean, if it's Jack versus Vigil, I go Jack there by quite a bit.
Yeah. Yep.
And then Joey is saying injuries and buys have killed me. Need to pick up 2 running backs. Scott Boston, Ty Johnson, Alex Collins, Kenyon Drake, or Mike Davis. I can say right now, I'll get rid of Mike Davis. I don't like him.
One of the biggest haters of Mike Davis since the beginning of the year. Wrote an article trashing him. Feel pretty vindicated. Hated that guy. He's a jag. So yeah, I totally agree. You can flip him off the end of this list. Oh God, but the rest of them are not very good either.
I'd probably go Ty Johnson and yes, Alex Collins. I don't know. Between him and Drake, I don't feel good about either.
Yes.
Well, I don't feel good about Ty Johnson either, but I think he's the one that I would definitely play. And then I don't know, the other 2 are just a toss up to me.
I'm playing Ty Johnson, and I think I'm gonna go Boston Scott with Hurts most likely being out. They might hand out some more carries, and like they have been actually until Miles Sanders got back again. They just don't want to give him the ball. But I think Scott and Sanders are both like Sanders is kind of an RB2 upside because if he does get the ball, he has a chance to bust big plays. But Scott's a solid flex for me this week, and then Ty Johnson's down there as a solid flex too. I hate Alex Collins anymore. I grabbed him in a lot of leagues late, assuming Chris Carson would probably be hurt and stuff, and was happy or not happy, but I was, happy I grabbed him and was ready for that. And he's been pathetic. So,
yeah, pretty much. He's pretty much a clone of Mike Davis. It's just terrible. So pick 2. Sorry, Joe. This is a gross list. I feel your pain now. Ty. God, I don't love him, but Ty Johnson. It doesn't make sense to me. He was relevant earlier in the year with a healthy Mike Scott, and now Mike Scott goes down, or Mike Carter, sorry, and they give a goal line carry to this Austin Walter guy to get a touchdown last week. Like, what are these teams doing?
That made me so mad. I was like, who is this guy? I was like, it has to be Tevin Coleman or
so
Ty Johnson. And
right?
they throw him in. I was like, who is this
why? Give it to Johnson, who's been a decent player for you all year. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I can't stand these coaches and these teams. So give me Ty Johnson. And I'm gonna go Kenny Drake just because. Why not? He might be due for receiving touchdown this week.
And Joey came back with waivers are absolutely nothing. 40 roster dynasty.
I feel you, man. Yeah.
So those are some rough running backs right there. Joey Perps is asking, or should I roll the dice with Mac Jones instead of Cousins?
Stop overthinking it.
No. Yeah. Tre'Davious White is out for Buffalo, but I'm not playing against Buffalo with Mac Jones for now, at least.
Yeah.
And what's the weather going to be like at this game? Is it going to be freezing cold? Because I feel like it's just going to be a ground and pound type of game.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it should be. I assume it's going to be cold on Monday night in New England. I don't know about wind and snow or precipitation or anything like that. Yeah, that's the thing. Wind affects the quarterback matchups more than anything else. So if it is going to be windy, then that's even more of a bad recipe to go against Jones.
20 to 40 plus mile an hour winds on Monday night.
Yikes! Running backs, Breida, let's go.
Yeah, really.
That's not what I like to hear since I have Josh Allen.
Oh no.
Damian Harris and Stevenson game for sure.
Yeah.
Both of them are great plays probably then this week. Same with Breida and Singletary. Probably
Let's hope so.
Probably all 4 of them are like low end RB2s.
Yeah, I just had to pick up Singletary because of all the injuries and buys this week.
Looks like a little bit of precipitation too, so probably a little bit of snow.
Nasty.
Wow. Joey's laughing and saying, I just had to throw that out there. Thanks, guys.
Keep us on our toes.
So I'm looking at Derek Carr against Washington.
Yeah.
Just because of their defense being so bad, and they're overhyped in my opinion. But what receivers is he going to be thrown to?
Renfro and Foster
That's his
Moreau.
boy. Foster Moreau game, baby. Let's go.
I picked him up in a bunch of places. So
Hell yeah.
and usually when Waller's out, he has really good games. So
he's a very good player.
yeah.
I've got him stashed in a ton of dynasty leagues.
And Carr gets it done. I feel like he's like a poor, this might be sacrilegious, but a poor man's Tom Brady of the earlier fantasy years, meaning like he could get it done with like a bunch of scrubs, and he still, has decent enough fantasy games.
So we have just under 10 minutes here, guys. And if you have any final questions to be asking, drop them in the comments below and we'll make sure we get to them before we end this live stream, before our first slate of games. Eric G is asking, hey, quick, easy one. Boston Scott or Devontae Freeman? Yes, I'm hurting it at running back, but grinding at 6, just trying to make the playoffs.
Is it Freeman? I mean, he's like technically the starter, right?
Yeah.
He's had 16 carries 2 games in a row.
So I guess.
But yeah, I think if Hurts is out, is Hurts ruled out yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. It's so hard. What is it all? Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I think I'm playing Scott still. They might run the ball a lot with Minshew in there.
That's what's the offense going to look like? Like, it's tough to say. And they have been running the ball a ton. So this is bad. What is the rest of the Eagles running back situation? So Sanders in,
Jordan Howard's out.
Howard out. Boston Scott's questionable, but he's probably gonna play. And Gainwell is good to go, right? Because he hasn't been injured at all. Yeah, Gainwell's good to go. So it's like, what are they gonna? What is the offense going to look like this week? Like, that's the only thing that worries me. I think Boston probably has your higher ceiling. So if you need to win and are looking to roll the dice, yeah, I'd probably go Boston Scott. If you are confident around the rest of your lineup and want that safer floor, I might lean towards Freeman there. So it kind of depends on the rest of your roster makeup and position and who you're going against this week too, and their matchup. So that's kind of how I would play that one.
I want to see Gardner just sling it. I just want them to let
Same.
him loose. I just want them to let him loose and like.
Same.
I love Gardner. But we'll see. It kind of seems like Sirianni doesn't really know what he wants to do every week. So
facts.
It's just like up in the air. Like nothing logically makes sense.
Yeah, because they've ran it 200 times the past 4 games. This week they'll throw it 60 times with Minshew for whatever reason.
Could you imagine if Minshew goes off, what the Philly fans are going to be yelling?
Oh, it's going to be crazy.
Skinny is asking Preston Williams, Juan Johnson, or Allen Robinson.
Oh, gosh.
I don't think A-Rob's playing, is he? I saw he was doubtful.
Oh, wow, really?
Man.
For his sake, yeah, I hope he doesn't play because that's just been a crime this year with him, too.
He's out.
Allen Robinson's out.
Sweet. Good. Go with the Jennings kid from San Francisco. of those options, and one of them's out. Preston Williams stinks. So why not with everyone out in San Francisco, and we know that Jimmy G seems to like him at least in the red zone. So sure, if he gets another touchdown and a handful of catches, gets you 10, 12 points, why not? I'd roll with him.
Same.
Joey's back, and he's asking Josh Allen or Tyler Heineke this week, thinking Josh Allen will have more runs with the weather.
That's what I'm going to say with Allen. At least, the throwing conditions aren't going to be great, but you still got those legs, and he's still the focal point of the offense. So I don't think you can get away from your stud there, as tempting as it might be, and as tough as those conditions might be. I'm still rolling with Allen there.
Although Heineke is playing Las Vegas and they're 25th against the quarterbacks.
Yeah, it's definitely a tempting matchup, that's for sure.
Joe, do you have room to play with that, or do you need a win to get in the playoffs? Let us know. I think that's a determination as well.
I think I'm staying Allen too. Sorry, Gibson's been getting a lot of touches, and they may ride him hard this week. Yeah, I'd just say Allen.
Brandon, do you have a thought in this?
I would go Allen, but I guess I'm a little biased because I have to go Allen, but because I have him in so many leagues. But I mean, you get like a player like Josh Allen to play him. I mean, I don't think you can. I don't think you can set him. So he plays in Buffalo, so I mean, he's used to bad weather. So at least you have that.
These like high profile matchup games too. Like I feel like they step up to those games, so you don't want to miss out on that.
It's a big divisional game. It's a big division.
It's a huge game.
So, yeah.
All right. Facebook user just found out Brandon Jones is out. Who do I pick up for a spot? Tracy Walker, Kareem Jackson, or Sean Murphy? Bunting.
Walker's probably got the best floor there.
Just off the top of my head, I was going to say go Kareem Jackson.
The old man Jackson. With that matchup against Kansas City.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of passes.
I know. And what happened to Justin Simmons this year? Like, why does he stink all of a sudden? At least for fantasy, he stinks. Has like Jackson been? See, I don't have much of Jackson, so I don't really know how he's been shaping up this year. Has he been picking up all the fantasy stats from Simmons for some reason?
Yeah, he's been averaging like 7 points a week all year. So
that's not bad then. Yeah,
he's also been doing that too. So
right, that's how I'm going to lean with the younger guy there. I like the matchup too against Minnesota, and I still think they are going to attempt to at least run it there. Murphy Bunting is, he's the corner there, so you're going to be relying on defended passes and a potential pick there. I don't think he gets tons of tackles. And it's against the Falcons. Boy, they all got good matchups. This is tough, actually. I'm gonna stick with Walker for myself on that
one. Ken says if Minshew goes off, Philly fans will eat another handful of horseshit to celebrate.
Oh, give us a little credit, okay, Ken. The guy did that for a Super Bowl win. We're not going to do that for a Minshew win, okay?
Clayton Johnson's asking, IDP play Tay Crowder or Quincy Williams?
I'm a Crowder guy. I like Crowder a lot. Quincy's probably got a better ceiling this week, but I have more Crowder on my IDP team, so I'm just going to be biased with the guy that I took a lot.
All right, let's do a speed round here to finish off these questions. PJ is asking, Wentz, Heineke, or Minshew?
Minshew.
Heineke.
Yeah, no, Heineke.
Yeah,
Heineke's really
Heineke.
Joey says he needs a win, so I'm going Josh Allen in that scenario for him.
You
Yeah,
can't.
definitely.
If you lose benching your stud, you're gonna hate yourself.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
PJ's back, and he said start 3. Currently starting Wilson and Vigil, T. Crowder and Littleton. Would you risk Smith over any who I think only got one limited practice in? So currently starting Wilson, Vigil, T. Crowder, and Littleton.
The Bears play at 1, so I mean, you just got to keep your eye on the report. If he plays, yes, you put him in over Crowder, or you put him in over Littleton. If he doesn't, I don't know. You kind of just got to keep your eye on the on the inactives.
He's activated 9 minutes ago. I'm playing Roquan over probably Crowder or maybe Littleton.
Yeah, 100% if he's playing. God, yeah.
Gotta play him.
And then Skinny Chef said, "Thanks, guys." Steve, that question is for my matchup against you this week.
Oh no! Well, then the opposite.
Joey says he needs a win. Ken's just laughing at all Eagles fans, I'm guessing. And then Clayton Johnson said, "Cool, thanks." But with that being said, we hit our hour mark and we're actually over a little bit.
Nice.
Brandon, before we sign off, Brandon, how about you tell us a little bit about how to find you, what articles, and your new YouTube video that you started doing a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter at HeyB3. And, now I was doing a lot of college waivers, so now I'm going to get more into the NFL content. And I've started a new Devi podcast that we do video and pod form. Every week we just talk about, college football and then, some upcoming players, especially with the fantasy season kind of ending and the draft. So that usually drops on Tuesday or Wednesday every week. Look out for that.
Santa, how about you tell us where they can find you?
Pretty much just live on Twitter at Dynasty Santa. Always up for arguing over stupid sports related or pop culture related things.
And then the rankings master, where can they find you at?
Yeah, I'm mostly on Twitter at Sports Talk Smart. You can get me in the subscriber chat, or you can @ me or send me a DM on Twitter whenever for any type of questions. And I'll be working on some stuff in the off season as well. So pretty big stuff.
And then you can find me at Grant_Gillen on Twitter. Mostly tweeting Browns games and fire Joe Woods. But after this week or last week, I think he earned a safe spot. But Stefanski, please give up your play calling. And then I'm willing to argue Cincinnati should not be in the college football playoffs. So come at me.
Hot take.
But other than that, good luck this week to everybody in fantasy football. I hope you win your game and hope you make the playoffs.
Go Birds.
With that being said, we'll see you guys next week.
See ya.